China is miffed with Japan yet again. Let me walk you through it. This time over a spat that erupted on November 7th when Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi, who was sworn in less than 3 weeks ago, said a Chinese military attack on Taiwan could constitute, and I quote, a survival-threatening situation for Japan. Now, this is a legal term under Japan's 2015 security law, referring to when an armed attack on its allies poses an existential threat to Japan. In such a situation, Japan's self-defense forces can be activated to respond to the threat. For China, that's a red line. It sees Taiwan as its own core interest and claims the democratically governed island as its own territory. Taiwan strongly objects this, and getting Japan involved, especially militarily, makes any conflict much more dangerous. The bigger issue, however, turned out to be an online post of China's Consul General in Japan's Osaka, which criticized Takaichi's comments by saying it was and I quote, a path of death that some stupid politicians in Japan would choose. Now, in what could be seen as a threat to the Japanese Prime Minister, the Chinese diplomat said that, and I quote again, we just need to chop off their dirty heads, unquote. The post has since been deleted. But what began as a war of words has now gone beyond barbs. Both countries' foreign ministries have since launched serious protests with each other. Japan has also warned its citizens to stay safe in China, while China has urged its citizens to avoid traveling to Japan. Takaichi also infuriated Beijing by publicizing her meeting with a Taiwanese representative at a regional summit in Seoul in early November. Japan has meanwhile tried to de-escalate the situation with diplomatic consultations with China. Japan's Director General of the Foreign Ministry's Asian and Oceanian Affairs Bureau landed in Beijing on November 17th for talks with his Chinese counterpart. Chinese Foreign Ministry officials said that he was not satisfied after the meeting. Now, geography. Look at a map. Japan sits right above Taiwan, with its Okinawa Islands scattered across the East China Sea. The Taiwan Strait, where the tensions are sizzling, is Japan's extended neighborhood. So if any conflict were to erupt between China and Taiwan, it wouldn't stay confined to that narrow strip of water. Japan's security, trade routes, even its airspace would be at risk. Now, the spat touches on the historical animosity between China and Japan, as well as long-standing strategic ambiguity on the sovereignty of self-governed Taiwan. So let's also rewind to history. China lost the first Sino-Japanese war badly. As part of the peace deal, it ceded Taiwan and some nearby islands to Japan. So there's a cluster of uninhabited islands in the East China Sea. Japan calls them the Senkaku Islands. China calls them the Diaoyu Islands. Later, after World War II, there was a complicated shuffle. Japan gave up many territories, but China claims the Diaoyu Senkaku Islands should have come back to it because they were historically linked to Taiwan, and Taiwan was returned to China. In short, territorial pride. All of this gives historical weight to China's unease with Japan.
Thank you for watching us on CNBC TV18. For all news and updates, subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch us on all social media platforms.